Why, hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and this is a RiseToWar guide today. I would like to give you a little overview of how to read your reports in the new 2.0 version and covering reports, okay? So let's bring up a report here, my most recent battle. My army was a little bit wounded, but I still did pretty good in this fight. You have new buttons and stuff down here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away here for a second in the corner, and I'm just going to talk. And we have new things. So one big thing about the new 2.0, which I have a couple ideas on, is the fact that you can only get XP for your commanders after level 40 from PvP, all right, fighting other players. I personally think there's two ways to fix this right now to make it a little better, because there's a lot of people who don't like it like that. And I think one is to give more XP for every fight, to make it faster to get to 50 from 40, or to lower how much you need, all right, to get to those things. But the big one, I think the best fix is, here's the other fix, is make it where you can only get XP in PvP from 45 to 50, right? Instead of doing it, so you could get up to 45 through mind sharpening and taking tiles and stuff. I just feel it would be a little less of a giant gap, because 40 to 50, I've been playing a lot this season, and as you can see, I only have these two commanders that are 41, and my other group, I think, are all level 41, and I've been doing a lot of PvP, so, yeah, it seems a little bit hard to get up there to the level. You have to be, like, constantly doing PvP, which is kind of hard sometimes, depending on what's going on in the server. But, now let me talk about how to read these, okay? So the first things first is the commander-in-chief, all right, if the new formation system is always going to be on the middle one. I could have another video on the formations and how they work and how to put them together, but we're talking about reading the reports, okay, for this video today. The big one is, for example, the commander-in-chief is always going to be at the center and the middle. The background colors are what level they are with the new system. So the new system, you can now ascend commanders. So they all start at the same levels, right? Blue, purple, and gold. Blue is called Mighty, purple is called Epic, and gold is called Legendary. As you remember, Zollin and Gimli are technically, or Zollin is technically a blue commander, and Gimli is a purple. But I have ascended both of them all the way up to gold with the new system, so that's why they're all technically legendary commanders right now. Even though Thorin and Dane start as legendary commanders. Same thing over here, you can see he ascended his Theoden, because Theoden technically starts as a purple commander, and the other ones are always purples, right? These three are usually. So now you can see the combat of what happens is, this is the damage of that entire formation, okay? So when we say tired formation, that means both the unit and the commander, okay? If you want to break that down, all right, you click on that little yellow button right there, okay? And it brings this up. I'm going to go away for a second because I need to be able to show you this. Here again is the flat stats of all of those numbers combined, okay? So we got all the individual ones, right, on the left side here. So we got 122,000, 46,000, 17,000, 83,000, right, for my squads there on the left, right? And if you look here, that entire combination of damage is right here. Technically, it would be on the right. It would be what I did to him, 270,000. But you can see right here, the combinations are here too. My commanders did 235,000. My soldiers did 34,000. Excuse me, flipping. And then how much damage I received, how much damage he received, and you can see he healed 52,000 too, because he had some commanders that could heal, right? Or items or whatever. Usually just commanders now. Healing is a little bit weaker than it used to be. But now if you want to break it down even more, what if you want to know exactly how much commander, damage Gimli did versus his troops, or Dane did versus his troops? When you go into this one, go to allies, yours, and now you can see the exact numbers. I'm going to explain to you what all these mean right now, okay? Ready? In a quick and efficient way here. So this one right here is the commander and units button, everything below it. This one below it is damage dealt. Whoop. This is damage healed to those units, and this is damage received, okay? There you go. You got that. That's pretty self-explanatory. Dane did 72,000, and he took 800 damage. Okay, 805 damage, right? I'm rounding because it's easier to say. And then you can see his units did almost 11,000. Okay, so now you can see the difference of exactly how much he did. My Gimli here did 100 and almost 12,000, and his units did 10,000. So very similar unit damage. Reason I'm using Shire Protectors is they have a bonus that can actually help their commander do more damage. You can see that the Shire units here in Dane's group took 51,000 damage. You can see that Thorin did 16 and took 5,500, so he got directly aimed at by someone because he was the front squad basically with the Dol Amroth Knights, who also took a bunch of damage. They were just tanking. There weren't many of them left. Remember, I lost already part of mine to a previous fight, which is why this was lost like this. But my Gimli still destroyed things, right? The same thing, you can see what Dwalin did in that thing. And of course, this exact same thing applies to the other side, to the enemy, right? You can see that his Theoden did very little damage. His troops did 50,000. His troops took 60,000. They healed 9,424, right? And so on. You can see all the other details now that you understand how that is used, okay? So there you go. Now you kind of know, and if you played previously, this screen is technically the same as before, all right? So that, I have to add one thing right here in the middle, okay? A little cut here in the middle of the video. Something that's really, really important about the commander's reports is the commander's HP. And I forgot to show it to you. That little heart there, see that little heart up there on the things? It means how much damage they took, obviously, just like this one does up here. But every commander has his own HP, as you can see over there now. That's a big thing in 2.0. Everything's the same that I just told you. And in fact, I already kind of showed you that in this thing here, right? With this percent is their health. It's the same thing as that heart. And then how much damage they took and healed. And there's my little, look at, there's my Brody dog. He's bombing. Yeah, what's up, Brody? He's like, I have HP. It's like, yes, you do. You're a good dog. He's like, watch me send me into battle. I'll destroy all those orcs for you. All right, anyway, yeah. That's all I was going to add here in the middle of the video. Keep going. Enjoy. That's kind of how that works. The little thing up there at the top, as you can see here, it shows how much was taken from your full amount. So basically, you can see here, I did a good chunk of his stuff right here, and how much damage they took in that round, okay? So if you look like, for example, right here, this report, you can see that I took a decent chunk of damage of troops, and he took a very decent damage chunk of troops. And you can see right here too, right? You can see that between wounded and killed on their side, they took, 4,000, and I took 1,500, roughly, all right? Of unit damage, so that's kind of cool. But again, I like these little bars. They remind me of the Battle for Middle-earth bars, that in the, if you remember the old Battle for Middle-earth, Return of the Witch, or Rise of the Witch King, the War of the Ring game mode. That was like a little risky board game mode, if you don't remember. And when you auto-resolve, they do the little psh, 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 like the little health bars would go away. That's what this reminds me of. And in fact, they changed it. They were little chunks of like 4 bars when the update first came out, and then they changed it to singular bars, which I understand. But it looks cool. I like that. But overall, that is how you read that. Again, this in the corner is you have your merit. This merit can be used if you want to find where your full merit is after you go into your main hall. All right, it's right there, my total merit. Okay, that merit is also, so that is like your, that's your prestige merit, is kind of like you're showing off, oh, look how much PvP I've done, right? That you do need that sometimes for hitting certain ranks of things in certain targeted ranks and positions in teamwork. Like, for example, here, the ranking boards, this is contributed merits, okay? So that's what, that does help with this. But then you can also spend that merit, I believe, in the market under the merit store, okay? So you can earn this, or you could save it and buy random respect items, which I'm gonna do right now, okay? Or you could use it to buy resources, right? And then the barter and the merchant, right? The normal stuff. But don't forget that's there, okay? For after the PvP stuff. Since we're talking about the battle reports, I thought I'd just mention that real quick. That's one thing. You can always click this little find location, all right? And it'll show you where the battle took place on what tile. That's a big one. It's very, very important to know. You can filter certain things. Right here with this filter button, you can filter if it was just PvP, if it was a mob you fought, if it was something, interceptions, right? Like, if you do interceptions, well, I didn't intercept anything, so there you go, problem solved. Hit, things that I hit. All right, nothing there either. So you can kind of go in through PvP. Oh, there we go, there's a little PvP I just did. All right, so unclaimed lands. Things that I attacked that were unclaimed, all right? You can see all my reports from that. That kind of stuff. So that's how you use those filters. Hopefully that helps you out. I think we covered it pretty thoroughly. And then, of course, XP gained. You always gain XP just like anything. But if your commanders are over level, are they 40 and up, they can only get this XP from a PvP. Okay, they won't get it from regular tile. I'd like it if that was changed a little bit. I think it should be 45, but I already said that. There's also a couple more buttons down here before we finish up. There's this one. This is very important. They did a fantastic update. I mean, fantastic. They added this thing on the left side here where you can jump to rounds. So if you don't know, and this is important for a newer player who's trying to learn how to read to learn things, okay, I might have a dedicated video to how to read this correctly and see what's going on. In fact, maybe Jethros can help me out sometime because he's a master at this stuff. But we have basically all 10 rounds. This went full 10 rounds and ended. So this was a big battle. Sometimes you won't get the full rounds, but this new thing on the left side will let you just jump to rounds, and you can see how much damage was taken in every round, right? So you have ready, no one. Round 1, I took a decent chunk there. He took a little chunk. Round 2, I took more. He took more. And you can kind of see what's going on, right? And by the way, if you notice this top bar, the difference is every round, this is what was wounded or killed during that round, and this was the previous round that was blanked out. That's no longer considered needed information. So if you kind of notice that, right? It's how you always have that empty chunk too on both sides. It's kind of showing you how much damage did you take in that round. So that's why when you get to the end of combat and you see that, you know, this, you kind of see this wasn't really as much considered, and this is kind of what was ended with actual damage output. Who was killed? Because you can see here, they were 4,000 to start with, and I lost, yeah, I lost a lot of troops. So again, it's kind of the reason why this is a little hard, it's not exact troops, because horses technically count as more supply. So like horses count as like 2 supply, where a single unit counts as normal supply. And there's something new in the game too, where there's small, medium, and large units, and they kind of work like rock, paper, scissors. Large units are weak to small, small are weak to, medium, medium are weak to large. Does a little circle, right? So that's kind of just little side information to know there. So you can use that. You can also click, of course, the send report button, all right, which is right here, the send report button, and you can send it to somebody, right? And see that report. You can also click the watch thing where you get a little battlefield. They haven't really updated this too much. I would love to see some more updates with this battle thing, but it's still cool to kind of see all of, it is better than it was before. It definitely was, it's better now. It's kind of cool to be able to see the actual combat. So they're triggering all their abilities here, and once they've triggered all their abilities, then you can speed it up and like actually watch the combat, which is cool. I would love it if they even did even more. But you can see here comes my Dol Amroth Knights, and the battle is joined. And you can see here at the bottom, there's those bars again with the exact numbers down there. Pretty cool. So you can see who's doing what, and it gives you details if you open this up. It's basically the same thing as that area I showed you where you can see the rounds, but this is slower. But of course you can speed it up because it will take a long time otherwise. But you can kind of see exactly what's going on. But yeah, my Gimli is battling. It's a pretty awesome battle overall, actually. Apparently, Denethor is up in their faces. I'm impressed. Thought that man was a scaredy cat. No, I'm just kidding. He's not like that in the book, though. All right, anyway, and you can pop out. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But anyway, there we go. That's pretty much covering how to read battle reports and kind of manage stuff and kind of know what you're reading. Because how are you going to know how to... You have to test things in this game. That's kind of the fun part of it. So you need to know what these numbers even mean. So hopefully that helped you out. Give me a like and a subscribe if it did. Leave a comment if you have more questions that I missed something you really didn't quite get. Leave a comment. I'd be happy to make another video or answer it in the comment section. So yeah, thanks so much. If you want to buy get some extra gems, if you purchase gems, there's a link down there that you can get some extra ones on top of it, and it helps out the channel too. And thank you to my Patreons for their support. I'll see you guys in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Barukazad Kuzad menu. Subscribe button. Next episode over there is LOTR Tale. I do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online. See ya.